for the ultimate prize of representing the country in Africa's CAF Confederations Cup. Catch all the action live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, beginning with a round of 16 matches, the quarter-final, semi-final and the final. Mozartbet Cup, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome to Nairobi, Kenya. On behalf of the Government of Kenya and the African Development Bank Group, I wish to extend a warm welcome to all distinguished guests and delegates to the highly anticipated 2024 annual meetings in Nairobi, Kenya. Kenya's desire to host the 2024 annual meeting and the 59th annual meeting of the African Development Bank Group underscores its commitment to advancing regional and continental cooperation towards an inclusive and sustainable development. The Republic of Kenya takes pride in the foresights of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, in singling out contemporary African problems of socio-economic transformation required given the existential threat of climate change. The required reforms of the multilateral development banks to be fit for purpose, scale up resources, and championing for the reforms of the global financial architecture. This is the 59th annual meeting of the African Development Bank Group and also marks 60th anniversary of the African Development Bank. It is thus a celebration. It has a theme, African economic transformation, the African Development Bank Group, reforming of the global financial architecture. It is such an exciting theme at this time in African continent. The annual meetings will provide an unparalleled networking opportunities, facilitating strategic collaboration and partnership with the key decision makers from African Development Bank Group member countries, as well as all shareholders, but also explore feasible solutions for African economies and the transformation agenda. We want to assure you all, our distinguished guests and delegates, that Kenya is fully prepared to host the event, ensuring a seamless experience for everyone. The event will be hosted at the Kenyatta International Convention Center. The historical significance of this convention center is that it hosted the World Bank and International Monetary Fund annual meetings half a century ago. That was in 1973. We look forward to welcoming you to Nairobi for what promises to be a historic chapter in our ongoing partnership with the African Development Bank Group, the African region, and the world at large. So karibu Kenya, welcome to Kenya. Asante sana, thank you very much.
And a very good evening to you. This is Easy Friday on KBC Channel 1. I am Shiksha Arora with my co-anchor John Kago as we inform you on what's happening in the nation and beyond, as well as the business news and the sports news. And we've got a very exciting interview later on Spotlight. So all that's coming up. All you need to do is sit back, relax and enjoy.
All right, in a court of hyenas, can a goat win? We are putting more perspective to that. All the Salaries and Remuneration Commission saying they're at crossroads as to whether to appeal a ruling that allows judges to benefit from a 10 million shillings grant. Details of that coming up. President William Ruto to conclude his state visit to the United States tonight. And Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service Felix Koskei defending that particular state visit, saying it has more gains than losses. More details coming up. Business a bit later, sports as well. But first things first, an eye review of Easy Friday tonight. These are the highlights.
SRC to appeal High Court ruling on 10 million shillings car grant for judges.
For the issues of the trip and the costs, you need to weigh the costs and the benefits. And you can see that we have succeeded big time. And I think we had value for money.
It's worth the millions. Head of Public Service Defense President Ruto's USA state visit, expenses saying that the trip has paid off manyfold. And several houses in Shari Moyo and the Blue Estate in capital Nairobi demolished.
All right, welcome to Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha, Arora, of course, with my co-anchor John Kago, not forgetting the sign language interpreter tonight, Byron Abuli. And here's our top story. Now, the Chief of Staff and Head of the Public Service, Felix Koskei, has defended President William Ruto's trip to the United States of America, saying it has more gains than losses to Kenya.
Well, speaking at Vakasi Garrison here in Nairobi County, when he led top government officials in a tree planting exercise, Koskei said the president's four-day state visit to the US was a great deal that is beneficial to the economic growth of the nation.
Take a look.
On Friday morning, Chief of Staff and Head of the Public Service Felix Koskei led top government officials from various departments, including Kenya Defence Forces, for a tree planting exercise in Nairobi County. The exercises kicked off at Bomas and replicated at Nairobi National Park, Nairobi Administration Police Training College, and Embakasi Garrison, respectively.
As government, I've ensured that other departments like correctional services, prisons, are going to be the major source of our seedlings. We expect them to produce 6 billion seedlings in 10 years. We expect NYS also to produce seedlings and also to help us in growing trees across the country.
Koskei said the government will achieve a target of 15 billion trees before 2032.
So we are on course as a country, we are on course as a government, and we are very confident that we will achieve the target of 15 billion trees in a very short while. We cannot even wait for 10 years. Perhaps we will even achieve it in a half of the time that we were given.
The KDF, we are going to lead and work with like-minded partners in the implementation of this initiative, including the national government agencies, even notably the Ministry of Environment, who are leading the initiative, the Kenya Forest Service, who have been offering us technical support, and also the Kenya Forest and Research Institute.
The head of the public service took the opportunity to defend President William Ruto's U.S. state visit.
For the issues of the trip and the costs, you need to weigh the costs and the benefits. And you can see that we have succeeded big time. And I think we had value for money.
He further said the trip to U.S. was a great deal to benefit the economic growth of the nation in different sectors.
Moving on, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission says it is at crossroads on how it will appeal a ruling that allows judges to benefit from a 10 million shillings car grant every 4 years.
Well, the Commission's chairperson, Lynn Mengich, termed the judges' car grant case as the most trying, wondering if in a court of a hyena, a goat will ever win such a case, but vowed it will appeal, hoping against all hopes to get justice from the very conflicted judges.
The Salaries and Remuneration Commission is caught between a hard place and a rock. Its war with judges over 10 million shillings car grant every 4 years is sailing in very turbulent plane. The commission wondering if, like a goat in the case, it will ever get justice when hyenas are on the throne. The commission's chairperson Lynn Mengich is expressing concerns that justice may not be served, since the same judges expected to handle the matter are conflicted as they stand to benefit from the allowances should it sail through.
The question is whether a judge can then make a decision without having a conflict of interest on a matter whether they have direct financial benefits.
The Commission says though there seems to be no light in the horizon, it will continue with its constitutional obligation as it has nowhere to go but appeal with little hopes against a judgment emanating from a High Court ruling on a case filed by one Peter Gashuri Mwangi, contending that the allowances are essential for judges to carry out their duties effectively.
In terms of do we feel that there will be fairness, it's only the outcomes that will tell. But it is difficult for us to say, will it be impartial or not, but we can only take it through the process.
For Mengi, should the appeal fail, it will have far-reaching implications in a country struggling with a huge wage bill, wondering why judges who already enjoy high-end cars fully maintained with taxpayers' money want to benefit from any grants. Should the judges win, Kenyans will be forced to part with 2.5 billion shillings every 4 years to finance their car grants.
So this additional benefit is actually not for official use, it's for personal use. That indeed the taxpayer is then being tasked to actually pay for a personal use, something for personal use.
Tilio Marco for Easy Friday.
Now, Interior and National Coordination Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has said the relocation of individuals from riparian areas was for their own safety.
Well, speaking when he toured Mathare, Kiamaiko and Mukuru Kwaruben informal settlements here in the capital, Professor Kindiki lauded members of the public for their cooperation.
He noted that there was need to protect the fragile Nairobi River's ecosystem as well as the lives of those who were impacted by the recent flooding.
Well, 40,000 households comprising 181,000 persons have voluntarily relocated from the riparian reserves of Nairobi, Mathare and Ngong rivers, and of course other mini tributaries of the Nairobi River ecosystem.
Scenes of despair fill the air as stranded residents of Blue Estate and Shauri Moyo area in Nairobi watch helplessly as their homes and belongings are reduced to a rubble. From a distance, some youth are seen fighting over scrap metal and looting properties of demolition victims. The government has, however, defended its position on this move. Kindiki further said that families that were moved from the riparian areas will be given the first priority in the affordable housing program, with each affected household given 10,000 shillings to support them settle on alternative rental premises.
Watu wengi hawana mahali pa kuenda. Ukiangalia hivi kuna vitu siko kwa barabara. Imesemekana kwa tuame na nyumba, hata yenyewe nyumba ya utafute nyumba haipatikani.
Serikali itukumbuke. Serikali itukumbuke, ijue wale watu walikosea, wenye hawajapata shida ndio wanapata pesa. Na wenye walipata pesa tunakaa nje. Sasa tukikwe nje itakuwa namna gani?
Victims of the demolitions, however, say they have nowhere to go, even though the government claims they were notified in time. They are questioning why they were initially assured they were safe and not within the 30-meter demolition zone, only for the authorities to proceed with the demolitions.
Tumechanganyikiwa. Juzi tumeambiwa ni 15. Sasa tena tukishabomolewa tunaambiwa ni 13 wanarudi nayo. Tutaenda wapi? Hii ni mvua, hii ni maji. Watoto tumebadilisha kwa mashule, bado wanahangaishwa, hakuna venye waingie mashule.
Erecting buildings and structures within the 30-meter riparian corridor is prohibited in law. For weeks, the government has been demolishing structures near riparian lands as a mitigation measure against devastating floods.
The High Court will rule on July 25, 2024 on whether the 11 police commanders implicated in the murder of baby Pendo in 2017 should be charged with murder.
Well, the officers who were to appear before Justice Kanyi Kimondo for plea taking instead filed a preliminary objection challenging recommendations of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority to have them charged.
Details of this story and more in the Scales of Justice segment.
In court papers, the officers submitted that only the Inspector General of Police is to be held responsible for the offense. However, the prosecution opposed the application, citing that the commanders had the responsibility to prevent the offense and report immediately the incident occurred. The inquest had found police bosses who served in the areas that were marred by electoral violence in 2017 culpable of the death of Baby Pendo in Kisumu County and other serious offenses. The 11 police commanders served at the height of the post-election violence. Elsewhere, Busia Senator Okiya Omtata and activist Eliud Matindi are back in court again for the second time this week, seeking to stop the ongoing public participation in the Finance Act 2024. On Wednesday this week, the duo were in court under a certificate of urgency, but were not satisfied with Justice Lawrence Mugambi orders issued to have further direction delivered on 12th June. They argue that both the petition and the application will be overtaken by events if the matter is not heard immediately. In Narok, the three clans living at the Ntulele Group Ranch are sharply divided over a judgment issued by a three-judge bench that directed that only the original Group Ranch members should benefit from the land.
Price for the Ntulele adjudication section be partitioned and or divided equally amongst the 2,222 members.
The judges maintain that the 2,222 people contained in the group ranch list when the land was first divided in 1982 are the legitimate owners and should be divided the 56,000 acres of land equally.
Koti inasema achilia kaa na share yako, wale ambayo hawana wachukue hapo. Hiyo sio kusema amani imeharibika, leo ndio amani imepatikana.
Yale ambayo ilifanyika hapa kwa kotini, sisi hatujaridhika hata kidogo. Tunashukuru ile ruling iliyotoka leo kuhusu Ntulele.
Ruth Wamboi for Easy Friday.
Wan Shang Mao Ni Hao Ma. So in case you're wondering what I'm speaking, well, that's Chinese. And the reason why you should also learn a bit of Chinese here and there is because learners have been challenged to embrace foreign languages in order to widen their communication skills and earn themselves a competitive advantage in the job market.
All right, I almost got lost for a minute there. Well, let's continue with that story. Speaking during the 4th National Chinese Bridge Competition for primary schools at Brookhouse Schools, Egerton University Vice-Chancellor Professor Bernard Aduda said the ability to speak at least one foreign language opens up opportunities in the job market within and outside the country.
An extra language opens opportunities. Opportunities not only within the country but also externally. You are being given an opportunity to expand your horizon.
Language education is a benefit for the communication between the two countries. Since last year, we organized the Chinese bridge competition for primary school students in Kenya. This is to encourage the students to learn Chinese language.
Shiksha, that means thank you.
Wow, I need to learn a foreign language.
Absolutely. And now moving on, a total of 7,058 children have been reported missing. That is in the last year, according to the Child Protection Information System.
Well, the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, while marking the International Missing Children Day today, emphasized vigilance as the first line of defense, even as it launched the guidelines for management of missing children in Kenya.
The day was marked amidst calls from the ministry to have children empowered on their safety from an early age to be able to spot danger from afar.
Kenya joined the rest of the world in commemorating International Missing Children Day amid a staggering 7,058 children recorded missing since the onset of this financial year. Of the over 7,000, a total of 1,383 were found and reunited with their families, leaving 5,675 unaccounted for.
These are not just numbers. These are human beings, and innocent human beings at that. There is a problem of missing children and coming up with modalities of ensuring that we arrest the situation.
The ministry also launched the guidelines for the management of missing and found children in Kenya, which identified family issues, neglect, online influence, abuse by caregivers and bullying among others as triggers of children going missing.
Where are they and where do they go missing? These are some of the questions we tend to ask ourselves. If children get lost, where will the next generation come from?
Central to these guidelines is the recognition that protecting our children is not just a moral imperative, but a collective responsibility.
Among the safety measures identified for the parents are leaving the children under a trustworthy caregiver, knowing the child's location at all times, avoiding sending them to unknown locations and creating a plan of action on what to do, where to go if they got lost or when taken from home or school by unknown persons. Reports on missing children can be made in the toll-free lines 116 999 112 0800 223344 and 0800 722 03. Isufar reporting for Easy Friday.
And that leads us to our first break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. As we come back, we're going to be talking about the reproductive health and HIV infections in the country.
Absolutely. And Kilifi County joins Mombasa County in banning Muguka. What does that mean for the counties that are involved in a particular trade? Details coming up on the other side of the break. We're back in a moment.
Back to the future. The future is simulate. Bet smarter. Win faster now. Be a winner. Mozart Bet.
Mizimu imesema atakayekuwa kiongozi ni yule pete itamchagua.
Bahari imechafuka. Mrithi wangu ni yule atakayeniletea vuo la kuoga.
Sasa na hili vuo wachana nalo, wakati wake umepita.
Pete hii ni ishara ya utawala.
Huu uongozi tusimwachie Jasiri.
Kwa nini uongozi usimwende Jasiri? Na wauliza nyinyi, Jasiri ana nini?
Kiva, hakuna atakayekusumbua.
Up so fast.
I sticked and I had discipline in my whole life to say that I want to stand out in the community and I want to be a champion of saying it's not about what you guys know, it's about what God knows about your life.
Uko serious?
Kwani mzee kuna shida?
Kama kuna mtu ambaye ulikuwa unatakana uoe juu ya mapenzi, ilikuwa ni Jane.
Kwa mbali sana.
Who is he, Tina?
Have somewhere to go.
Unataka maisha yako na Mark ama urafiki yako na Jane?
Kwani siwezi kuwa na zote mbili?
Hata umeoga kweli ama ni makeup tu umejipaka? Yaani hivyo tu ndio uniona mama.
Jane, unaenda wapi mbio hivyo?
Niko na meeting. I just feel like I'm letting loose and dancing.
Welcome back. Now, the government has been urged to allocate more resources to address the challenge of new HIV infections, adolescent pregnancies, and sexual gender-based violence.
Well, speaking here in Nairobi at a reproductive health forum, stakeholders warned that the continued lack of adequate funding was derailing efforts in ending the triple threat.
Timothy Kipnusu with details of the meeting.
On Friday, reproductive health stakeholders converged in Nairobi to discuss strategies aimed at combating the triple threat, which they say remains a thorn in the flesh.
Ministry of Health saying they are pro-life. We need to be clear that we are pro-people, we are pro-rights. The responsibility of government is to protect and defend the fundamental rights and freedoms of its people.
It is here that they called on the government to allocate more funds towards dealing with the challenges of new HIV infections, adolescent pregnancies and sexual gender-based violence.
The strategies are there, policies are there, but the main challenge is actually finances. The Ministry of Health and county governments don't have funds to disseminate these guidelines, to educate, to build the capacity of service providers.
According to the coordinator, social behavior change and advocacy in the Ministry of Health, Mary Magubo, limited resources have made it difficult to roll out civic education to the general public on sexual reproductive health.
Funding comes from NGOs, and it's good that we focus also and ensure that we increase funding for implementation of those services because they are very key.
During the forum, the government was challenged not only to focus on punishing the perpetrators of sexual gender-based violence, but also to ensure the victims and the survivors are assisted.
When it comes to sexual and gender-based violence, we may only arrest and prosecute. We do nothing for the survivor. How are we helping the child who's become pregnant? What are the options available for this child? How are we securing their future and well-being? And so those are the things I see as gaps. And how these gaps then play out is that we do not have coherent speak from government.
It was also noted that young people engage in unprotected sex due to lack of knowledge, resulting in the increase of new HIV infections.
If at all some of our girls are raped or something like that, this happens, then they should know that there's a policy whereby they can be able to prevent themselves from infections, from HIV.
In the meantime, the Ministry of Health says it will roll out a booklet on social behavior change and advocacy in schools to aid in ending the triple threat.
Some of them get pregnant for lack of accurate information on issues to do with sexual reproductive health. So as they grow, they need to understand what they need to do.
Timothy Kipnoso for Easy Friday.
Now, Kilifi County Government has banned the sale and consumption of Muguka herb a day after Mombasa County announced a similar ban, making it the second county in the coastal region to stop the trade.
Well, this comes as 12 people were arrested in Miritini and Mwakirunge areas as they attempted to sneak in the herb into the county.
Our reporter Ann Buru has details of the unfolding saga as the county government insists consumption of the stimulant was responsible for the increase in mental illnesses in the region.
A day after Mombasa County Governor issued an executive order banning the trade of Muguka, Kilifi County Government made a similar call banning the sale and consumption of the stimulant. A visit to Kongoya Market a day after the ban revealed a deserted market as the traders could not display their wares. The ban, according to the traders, is a major blow to their source of livelihood, with some of them arguing the trade had provided an opportunity for the youth to venture into the trade and stay away from criminal activities.
Mtu ashatuma pesa zake tayari kwa mkulima huko, anangoja mzigo wake, anaambiwa mzigo ufiki. Pesa zaenda kutoka wapi tena? Ama tukitoka tukimaliza tuende tukashike watu ngeta.
Wengine wanachukua loan hapa kwa Muguka. Wanalipia watoto school fee na loan hapa hapa.
Shida yako yote.
Wanachukua Silog, pesa Silog, wanasomesha watoto naye. Wakilipa na pesa ya Muguka. Itakuwaje leo hii wanafungiwa? Hao watu wataenda wapi? Hao watu watakula nini?
Tunafanya kazi ya Muguka, imenisaidia na hata ndugu zangu wengine nimewaajiri, niko na pikipiki kama 4. Hizo pikipiki sinafanya kazi ya usafiri wa Muguka. Hiyo ndio inalisha watoto wao, hiyo ndio inawasomesha watoto wao. Mpaka leo hii wengine wako nyumbani. Unaona?
Food vendors, on the other hand, lamented that their source of livelihood might be cut short because the Muguka traders were mostly their clients.
Si hapa tunapika chakula na watu wa Muguka ndio customer wetu kwa wingi. Sasa leo sijui wasipokuja kuuza hiyo Muguka na ndio customer wetu, atujue chakula tutapeleka wapi.
Naomba serikali mahali popote upo, toka nje utusaidie ili tupate kuendelea na maisha.
Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir noted that most of the mental health issues were attributed to the consumption of the plant, sentiments dismissed by the traders.
Hatujafika hata nusu mwaka
lakini idadi ya watu ambao wanahitaji usaidizi katika hali ya maradhi ambayo kwamba ni ya kufyetuka akili, katika hali ya maradhi ya kwa unategemea haya Muguka, idadi yake imepanda zaidi ya mara 2 kuliko hivyo ilivyokuwa mwaka jana.
Tuseme kaunti inasema kuna liabo watu wamepelekwa liabo watu wanakula Muguka. Mbona Embu hakuna watu ambao wamepelekwa liabo ya Muguka? Meru hakuna watu wamepelekwa liabo ya Muguka? Ni hapa Mombasa peke yake. Waseme secret yenye wako nayo concerning watu wa Muguka ama miraa. Kama kuna biashara zao zimekuwa chini, waseme ukweli, waache kudanganya sababu hapa wananyima watu wengi sana haki hapa.
Sasa kama Muguka uko na shida gani? Sisi wenyewe wa Meru tunazaa, tuna watoto huko nyumbani, tumekuja hapa kufanya hiyo kazi. Kwa nini huko Meru basi wasikufe kama Muguka unaua?
This comes as 12 people were arrested at Miritini and Mwakirunge attempting to sneak in the hub. They were arraigned at the Mombasa County Court and released on a 5,000 shilling cash bail each. For Easy Friday from Mombasa County, I am Anburu.
Now, known as the epicenter of Nairobi's market stall businesses, Eastleigh undoubtedly contributes significantly not only to the county's revenue generation, but also Kenya's gross domestic product.
Well, now, following the heavy rains here in the capital and other parts of the country, the aftermath of floods paint a picture of a business hub struggling to return to optimal operations.
Our reporter Brian Sakwa visited Eastleigh and filed the following report.
Country prepares itself for economic recovery after a heavy and prolonged period of heavy floods that have wreaked havoc in the country. I'm here at Eastleigh Market to try and speak to some of the local traders right here to take a look at the state of their businesses post-floods.
The busy streets of Eastleigh, undoubtedly Nairobi's leading estate in market stall business. Rhoda Mutisia shielded herself from the scorching sun as she sells second-hand clothes, commonly known as mitumba. This has been her base from where she makes a living. But all is not well. Her business was affected by the heavy rains that wreaked havoc in Nairobi and other parts of the country. Business has been slow in picking up.
Hakuna kazi iko chini, wale wananunua hawana pesa, wanalia mchana na usiku, wanasema maisha imepanda.
At a boda parking bay, Dennis Kimathi, who is the acting chairman of the boda operators in Eastleigh, tells of a similar experience.
Naomba serikali iingilie katikati kwa sababu hata ile pesa ambayo serikali inapokea ya kusaidia watu, kuna wengine bado wafikiwi nayo. Ni kwa sababu mtu kama mimi niko hapa nipate pesa nipelekee mtoto school fees, zile ambayo serikali inapeana kwa wale watu ambao wameathirika na mafuriko ifikie watu wa chini kama sisi.
At an open veranda curtain design workshop, Freddy Kamenya is busy on his sewing machine. Amenya explains he had to close down his shop when the heavy rains began since there were no clients.
So wakati ilianza pia maji ilikuwa masiwage zimefunga, hakuna mahali maji inaweza kupita, so inabidi naingia tu kwa maduka. Tufunge kwa sababu wewe si riski ufungue na maji imejaa kila mahali, itabidi tu ufunge.
According to a published report by the World Bank on 16th of October 2019, SMEs account for 40% of GDP in most emerging economies.
Some of the benefits of that, including creation of opportunities as well. Traders right here have cited one of the biggest challenges being poor working conditions and financial issues.
Brian Sankwa, KBC.
Now, the much-anticipated communal land elections to elect the chairperson of the prime Kibiko Ngong land has been postponed.
Well, Kajiado County Commissioner James Tyree says that the voter turnout was way too high compared to personnel involved in verification of the 16,000 registered members.
A move that was met with high resistance by the participants.
Well, this and other stories in our County News Roundup.
The agitated members were peacefully queued as early as 4 a.m. ready to participate in the communal land elections to elect the chairperson of the prime Kibiko Ngong land maintained that there was no anomaly witnessed since the voting model was mulolongo. This comes amid its postponement on grounds of interference by non-participants, as the turnout was way too high as compared to the initial registered members. The elections were crucial to the Kikonyokie Community Trust land members, since the person elected as chairman will oversee the subdivision of the prime multi-billion land measuring 28,000 acres situated in Kibiko Ngong.
We want to go back to the drawing board. Mutatusaidia muelewe hii kitu tuisukume within 2 weeks ndio tunyoroshe na tukuja kupiga kura tena.
Elsewhere, Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome has warned registrars across the country from allocating freehold land title deeds to foreigners. She acknowledged that numerous parcels of land, especially in the coast region, have not been adjudicated, hence the need to fast-track the ongoing digitization of land records in the lands registry offices.
And where we find people are sleeping on their job, I don't think we are going to be very nice to them, because even me, I'm not allowed to sleep on my job.
And the aide to the President Faruki Beit has challenged religious leaders to unite Kenyans through religion.
Kuna mtu akipatiwa nafasi kuwa kiongozi atataka kujali masilahi ya wanakijiji, akitaka kujali masilahi ya ukoo. Sisi tunasema neno la Mungu haina ukoo, neno la Mungu ni ya dunia mzima.
The body of an elderly man from Makutano town in West Pokot was retrieved from a trench. The deceased, identified as Joseph Lorema from Sigirio village, had gone to Makutano township to run his errands and was swept away by flash floods trying to cross one of the trenches beside the road as the rains was pounding the area.
Ni tukio ambaye kweli kama sisi wakaaji wa Makutano imekuwa ni tukio ambaye imetushtua sana.
Meanwhile, Machakos Health County Executive Commissioner is decrying shortage of immunization vaccines across the health facilities in the county. The CEC is urging the national government to intervene and facilitate the restocking of the vaccines in hospitals.
Kwa sasa dawa zile ambazo ziko na upungufu ni zile za measles na zile za polio.
Finally, the fate of thousands of learners remain in limbo after intern teachers under junior secondary school continue to suspend their services until the government confirms them to permanent and pensionable terms.
Bila compensation na confirmation, hakuna kurudi shule, hakuna kurudi wapi.
Opicha Chemtai for Easy Friday.
Right, and now it's time for my favorite segment, My Culture, where we explore the rich traditions and vibrant communities across our nation.
Well, tonight we take you to the heart of Western Kenya. That's specifically in Busia County, where the Tesso community is celebrating a significant event.
Now, the installation of the new chairman, that is of the Ikuruk clan.
All right, now this ceremony, which will feature traditional dances, music and customs, will be graced by His Highness, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, Emor Papa Sunday Emolot. That's the king of the larger Tesso kingdom.
Let's take a look.
The Tesso community, known for its rich cultural heritage, stretches across western Kenya's Busia County and eastern Uganda's Arora region. Under the wise and benevolent leadership of His Highness Emor Papa Sunday Emolot, the community thrives, holding family to its traditions while embracing modernity. Today marks a significant day for the Ikuruk sub-tribe, the most prominent among the Tesso sub-tribes, which spans across Tesso North and Tesso South. After 27 years, the mantle of leadership is being handed over in a grand ceremony at Ikapalok Primary School on the outskirts of Malaba town. Dressed in leopard-like attire, dance troupes showcase their meticulous choreographed moves, a testament to the community's cultural vibrancy. The air is is filled with excitement and anticipation as the new chairman, David Ikapaloki Mai, is about to be installed. Clad in traditional leopard attire draped across his chest, David Ikapaloki Mai is guided to the community chair. He receives the ceremonial whisker, flag and 2 community fiddles, symbols of his new authority and responsibility. Outgoing chairman Akirapa Okwara, reflecting on his tenure, emphasizes the importance of respecting one's culture to avoid societal anarchy.
Hana mila culture ni mutuma, a slave. If your child does not respect your culture, it's difficult for that child to accept God. It is more difficult for that child to respect the national government or government as that.
Anybody who grows up without following our cultural norms, practices, you're like a tree growing without roots. Culture shapes a person. Culture is everything. If you want to be educated, embrace culture.
His words resonate deeply with the gathered community. With solemnity, David Ikapaloki Mai takes the oath of office, pledging to prioritize education, ensure peaceful land distribution, promote traditional foods and form cooperative societies for economic development. He promises to tackle the menace of illicit brew that plague the community.
Kuna departments, kuna zile vitengo zenye vimetengwa ya kuhakikisha kwamba kila sehemu inafanya kazi yake. Ile ya kupigana na hali ya ulevi iko na tunajaribu kuangamiza kabisa.
His Highness Emormor Papa Sunday commends the community for their democratic leadership transition. He highlights the crucial role clans play in conflict resolution, development and education. His message to the youth is clear: steer clear of peer pressure and avoid drug abuse which threatens their future.
Our young people, the young generation is getting spoiled because of drug abuse, peer influence. Please, parents, let's take care of our children.
The ceremony reaches its pinnacle with Emormor Papa Sunday's blessings. He dedicates his prayers to the new clan chairman and his 2 wives, invoking prosperity and unity for the Ikuruk sub-tribe. As the celebrations continue, the spirit of the Tesso community shines brightly, a reminder of the strength found in unity and tradition. The installation of David Ikapaloki Mai as the new chairman marks a new chapter for the Ikuruk clan, filled with hope and promise for the future.
There's always so much to learn.
Absolutely, that's a good one. The installation of the new chairman of the Ikuruk clan, right one. A good one right there by Jackie Wambiru.
And that leads us to yet another break. But on the other side, we will be having Wari Mujenga as she tells us the latest in the world of business. There's a lot of new developments. So stay right here and don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwenye star 570 hash, every 100 shillings unayotumia kwa Lucky Game inakupa 1 entry point ya kuingia kwenye drum ya draw, ambayo inakupa fursa ya kujishindia moja kati ya shamba hizi mbili. Mwisho wa April namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings na unapata title deed yako safi. Na mwisho wa Mei namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings, lori za mawe na mchanga. Ploti ndizo hizi, dial star 570 hash, title deed ndio hii. Vuka na shake.
Hope you're taking it easy this Friday evening. My name is Werimu Jenga. We take a look at the day's business news. Now, Kenya targets to create at least 2 million digital jobs in the next 2 years in a move to tackle youth unemployment. Information, Communication and the Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo says already over 300,000 Kenyans youth have been trained under the Ajira digital program, empowering them to create over 130,000 digital jobs opportunities.
Speaking when he launched a digital hub at Bondo Technical Training Institute and another one at Gubei Secondary School, both in Bondo, Siaya County, Information, Communications and the Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo said government initiatives have seen over 300,000 youth trained on tapping wealth creation opportunities in the digital space.
And that is what is already happening here. Since we started this program over 1 year ago, we have now trained 390,000 youth. While in equal measure, we have created 139,000 digital jobs for our youth. It is our proposition that within the next 2 years, we should have created a minimum of 2 million jobs for our youth.
So far, over 200 digital hubs have been established in various institutions across the country. They are part of the 1,450 digital hubs that are expected to be set up in all wards in Kenya.
And this will be a game changer because it is the only space where we have got abundance opportunities for our youth to exploit their full potential. Formal jobs, as was the case before, are today either limited or non-existent.
I know there are concerns that our population as a country is growing too fast. Right now, we are just a few million shy of 60. But from where I sit, I think, Waziri, using your ministry, it is time for our young country to turn the population bulge into an opportunity.
He says the government is on course to establish 25,000 public Wi-Fi hotspots in efforts to promote e-commerce, as well as open up more job opportunities for Kenyans.
We are now gotten into a new working arrangement with Kenya Power, where we are going to roll out the fiber lines on the Kenya Power transmission lines. What this means, therefore, good people, is that everywhere in this country where we have got an electricity line, in equal measure, we will be able to have a fiber line and we will be able to have internet.
For is the Friday from Siaya County, I am Wycliffe Okage.
Matatu operators have threatened to increase transport fares if the motor vehicle circulation tax is implemented as proposed in the Finance Bill 2024. Matatu Owners Association Chairman Albert Karagasha says the proposed tax will increase operational costs that will be passed on to the commuters. Karagasha says, or rather is calling on the government to consider removing motor vehicle circulation tax in the Finance Bill 2024.
29,000 and consultancy fees at 25,200. And
we will request the government to really sit down with us. We'll request the chairman committee to sit down with us, because we believe that bill is not going to support the industry at all. We know that very well within the fuel levy, we normally pay taxes. We pay taxes from fuel levy. We still pay taxes from the insurance. So we are urging the government, we are overburdened in terms of the issue of taxes, and we will want to make sure that we be part of what is coming up, because we know the bill is not going to support the industry. We know the industry is leaking right now.
Financial institutions have been urged to step up investment channel towards small and medium enterprises to empower this sector and build the resilience of the businesses community, or rather the business community. Absa Bank has undertaken an empowerment program that will invest and build the capacity of over 400 entrepreneurs in Nakuru County. Edna Murungi brings us that report.
The last 3 years since the COVID-19 pandemic, the SME sector has faced significant constraints resulting from an unfavorable global operating environment, including supply chain disruptions, rising inflation, exchange rate volatility, and rising interest rates. In a bid to empower this sector, Absa Bank Kenya has kicked off county empowerment forums that seek to expand business opportunities for small and medium-sized enterprises.
We would like to be a one-stop shop for all entrepreneurs, and therefore our proposition covers not just access to finance, but also access to markets.
We are here to demonstrate to you how we are mentoring business people and to align ourselves to the topic and subject of the day, which is building resilience for business continuity in times of uncertainty.
Nakuru County Deputy Governor David Kong said such initiatives will drive economic innovation and transformation, aligning with the government initiative to enhance SME sector and create jobs for young people.
We are particularly keen on financial, legal, institutional and legislative support.
Absa Bank plans to hold similar SMEs empowerment forums in Kisumu, Mombasa, Machakos, Mount Kenya and the coast regions.
Supporting farmer groups in Isiolo County have been equipped with 140 modern beehives and essential honey production accessories to help them diversify their income sources. Here is Felix Q with the details.
Isiolo County is spearheading a diversification drive for the area resident to empower poultry and beekeeping as well as fish production in ports. This is meant to help them reduce reliance on cattle and camels, which are often the target for rustlers. The initiative targets to fully utilize the Isiolo honey refineries, whose operation have been below par due to insufficient honey production in the area. The new modern beehives have a capacity of at least 15 kilograms of honey.
I want to confirm that glasi moja ya asali ni shilingi 300. Glasi ya maziwa ni shilingi 30. Kwa hivyo tuangalie this a black gold. Hii ni dhahabu ambayo Isiolo imepata. Let us tap all the resources.
The initiative mainly target to support women-led group whose are being offered modern beehives, accessories for use harvesting of the honey and 100 kilograms stainless steel tanks.
In total, we are issuing about 140 beehives to 14 groups. We all know that Isiolo is a county where we have the backbone being, pastoralism, and women, yet they are involved, but not that much. So this is really one of those activities that, gives them an opportunity really to be able to earn their own income.
The farmer groups will also facilitate with the markets linkages.
Tunataka kushukuru county government yetu ya Isiolo na partners wa E4 Impact na wale partners wengine ambao wameweza kutusaidia na kuweza kutupatia mafunzo, wameweza kutupeleka outreach programs katika kaunti zingine, na pia sisi kama vijana tumeweza kuona vijana katika kaunti zingine wanajikimu kivipi kimaisha.
E4 Impact.
Well, that marks the end of business news tonight, and I do wish you a very lovely weekend. But remember, on Monday we'll be covering live the 2024 annual meeting of the African Development Group that is happening at the Kenya International Convention Center right here in Nairobi. My name is Weri Mujenga. Have a good night.
There we see the tension and drama will be ratcheted up. Tie done and dusted.
And Sessi does watch it go over the line this side. Rise up a strike by the defender and he's in.
Kurumisha ndege. Aviator instant game. Be a daring pilot and earn by how much high you can lift the plane. The higher you fly, the higher your win. The sky is the limit. Mozart Bet.
Sports News is brought to you by Mozart Bet.
Good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Prime Edition Sport. Now, Kenya Defence Forces held their nerves to beat Kenya Forest Service in a five-set thriller in a highly charged match during the Kenya Volleyball Federation National League playoffs, which started today at the Kasarani Indoor Gymnasium. Meanwhile, DCI volleyball team also carried the day with a 3-1 win against Nairobi Prisons in women's matches.
The KDF men volleyball team bagged the first two sets, 25-18 and 25-20, before Kenya Forest Service did a turnaround to win the third and the fourth sets, 19-25 and 21-25, to send the match into a decider, which they won 17-15.
We are proud because although hatujakuwa pamoja sana kwa mazoezi, lakini ile coordination tumekuwa nayo kidogo imetusaidia. Na challenges ziko kwa volleyball because is a team sport, na ukipata mwenzako mmoja anakosa kufanya ile kitu lazima italeta shida.
The first two sets tulikuwa concentrate mzuri, but kidogo the third set tulilose concentration kiasi, but tulijicompose na tukarudi kwa game. Coaches alituita after zile timeout mbili pale, akasema guys, hakuna haraka, tucheze tu simple volleyball, to receive, tufanye side out, to make point, ile ku-execute zile points ndo muhimu.
KDF and KFS will face off on Saturday in the same venue in the return fixture.
Game kwangu naweza sema haikuwa mbaya, although nimelose 3-2. Coming down from 2 sets nil, naweza sema nimejaribu, and I still have another chance.
In other matches, African bronze medalist Kenya Pipeline women's team overwhelmed Post Bank 3-0. As DCI volleyball team also carried the day with a 3-1 win over Nairobi Prisons. King Orimwangi, for Easy Friday.
And the stakes are high in the second World Boxing Olympic qualifiers, which got underway in Bangkok, Thailand, with boxers on their last quest for Paris Olympics qualification. Africa lightweight heavyweight champion Edwin Okongo will be the first Kenyan boxers to take to the ring tomorrow, where he's determined to prevail over Mahamadou Gori of Mali in the battle for the limited quotas for the Games.
Vice-Captain Boniface Mogonde will not have it easy on Sunday in the light middleweight against the experienced Wash Aiden of Ireland, who won bronze during the Tokyo Olympic Games. Hit squad captain Elizabeth Adiengo, who won the Mandela Africa Boxing Cup recently, will start her campaign to qualify for her second Olympic Games on Monday in the middleweight division against Irina Nicole Skobaga, and Africa bronze medalist Amina Matha prepares for another tough fight against Scarlett Delgado of Canada in the bantamweight division. Frieza Anyango, who styled for Kenya in the World Qualifiers in Italy, will face Emilis Vico of France in the welterweight division on Wednesday, as Peter Abutu was given up in the preliminaries of the heavyweight division. Meanwhile, Commonwealth and Africa Games cyclist David Kinja will be among the professional cyclists who will take part in the KCA cycling tour, scheduled from 29th May to 1st June this year.
The target is as many as needed students, but we don't like spreading too thin. We will have probably a similar number of students, or rather I can say about 10 students who are in the verge of dropping out. We are talking about the extreme cases.
The cycling tour, which will cover 1,002 kilometers, will traverse Nairobi, Nakuru, Kapsabet, Kakamega, Kisumu, Kisii, with the aim of raising road safety awareness and traffic surveillance.
People with talent and people who are likely to produce some kind of innovation, some kind of a product at the end of their study here. Those are the people that we back up with scholarships.
This year, they have actually done it again, and we celebrate this.
And Kenya Police FC will be going for sweet revenge when they host AFC Leopards in the Mozart Bet Cup semi-final scheduled for Sunday at the Police Sacco Stadium after they were beaten in the FKF Premier League race. KCB will face Kariobangi Sharks in the other semi-final, with both matches to be broadcast live on KBC Channel 1.
Bet Cup semi-final kick-off at midday this Sunday with KCB aiming to end their 20 years trophy drought as they face the 2018 SportPesa Cup winners Kariobangi Sharks at the Police Circle grounds. KCB secured the semi-final spot after beating defending champions Kakamega Homeboys 3-1 in the quarter-finals. Kariobangi Sharks advanced to the semis when they overcame National Super League side SS Assad 1-0. The Sharks are hoping to return to the CAF Confederation Cup, having featured last in 2018. Kenya Police, on the other hand, qualified for the Mozart Bet Cup semis for the first time, where they will face the 2017 Cup winners FC Leopards. Police are seeking their first ever top flight accolade and a chance to compete at the continental level if they win the Mozart Bet Cup. FC Leopards secured their semi-final spot with a 3-1 victory over FKF Division 1 side Compel Sports Complex, while Kenya Police thrashed FKF Premier League side Sofapaka 4-0 to set up their meeting with Ingwe. The winner of the Mozart Bet Cup will bag 2 million shillings as well as represent Kenya in the CAF Confederation Cup next season.
Lines are drawn in the CAF Champions League final second leg as GTM Giants Al Ahly aim for their 12th title when they host Esperance of Tunisia at the Cairo International Stadium. The match will be televised on KBC Channel 1 tomorrow from 8 p.m.
Esperance of Tunis and Al Ahly have now become the first two sides ever to go 9 consecutive games without conceding in CAF Champions League history following their barren draw in the first leg last Saturday. Esperance head into the second leg tie in a quest for their 5th CAF Champions League title and their first since 2019, as Esperance will also be looking to make it 2 consecutive Champions League final victories over Al Ahly when both sides faced off in the final back in 2018. Al Ahly, on the other hand, have a huge injury setback with Ali Ma'loul sidelined after tearing his Achilles tendon. In his absence, Karim Fouad has found his way back to the team with Abdel Monum, Mohamed Hani and club captain Rami Rabia at the defensive end of the pitch. Off the back of another solid defensive performance, Esperance might have an unchanged back four of Mohamed Ben Ali, Yassine Maria, Mohamed Tugay and Amin Ben Hamida, with Amanala Memiche starting between the sticks once again. Skipper Gailen Chele, Togolese international Roger Aholu, Jan Sass and Usain Teka will also be on the starting list.
And Spanish giants Barcelona have sacked manager Xavi Hernandez after 3 years in the role. The Spaniard announced in January that he would leave Camp Nou, but he was persuaded to stay by club president Juan Laporta in April. But recent comments from Xavi, in which he opened up about the club's financial struggles, are said to have angered Laporta. Xavi, who has been contracted until 2025, was informed of the club's decision during a meeting with Laporta and sporting director Deco. Former Bayern Munich boss Hansi Flick is set to replace him. Flick has been out of work since being sacked by Germany in September 2023. United will be seeking to avenge their 2-1 loss in last year's FA Cup final when they take on English Premier League champions Manchester City tomorrow at the Wembley Stadium. Manchester City are going for their 8th FA Cup title in the derby fixture, which is a rematch of last year's FA Cup final. A win for Manchester United will hand them their 13th for Manchester City will hand them the 13th FA Cup and propel them to the Europa League next season after missing out on European football due to their 8th place finish this season. Stefan Ortega will be in goal for Manchester City as Ederson is missing due to an eye injury. Harry Maguire will also miss the fixture as Mason Mount, Anthony Martial and Victor Lindelof are fit for selection.
I think De Gea is unsighted here. FA Cup winners 2023.
And that's the sport for tonight. But remember that KBC Channel 1 is your true sports partner. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. is Game On. And remember, at 8 p.m., Al Ahly against Esperance, who is going to be the CAF Champions League winner. Only one place to find out. KBC Channel 1. My name is Daniel Wahome. Over to Shiksha Arora. And tonight, on Easy Friday, she's hosting members of the cast from Big Girls, Small World. Shiksha, tell us about that.
Sports News was brought to you by Mozart Bet.
You can lift the plane. The higher you fly, the higher your win. The sky is the limit. Mozart Bet.
This is Hendrix Sound.
Roll your boat. Tonight I'm at the bottom and you're on the top. Rubber-dubber-dub, the beat will never stop. Whiskey on the rocks, you're dealing with the boss. Yeah. Bigger shot, na nikuwashi and down. My pose, the post ki photo. Shadow, my door, ringa kidogo. Lalo, mamli on the hoko. Bubbly gum, umeshikili ya gun. Roll it down, di gagan. Umedunga na madi gaga. Daga, ring daga. Roll.
And on the daily bado na kufata kosa sio hoja zaidi ya kukupenda vipi nikatupa ndoto tulizoziota uliniwasha nare enzi zetu za kupare kwa mvinyo na makale magizani hadi ngware nikijifanya dakitare wa mabinti wale wenye shepu za hatari nikapotelea ndani ila mwambie nampenda roho ya mtamani bado nampenda ukimwona mwambie nampenda roho ya mtamani bado nampenda ukimwona
fly in the sky in the night. Hold me in your arms in your love in your light. I'm on your wave right now. I'm on your wave right now. Yeah. I'm on your vibe now. You got me on your side now. Yeah. I'm on your wave right now.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa Hadija ai Mani especially ukisonga Na nimesha shindwa kukonga Sweetie walai Ukienda mbali I miss you stronger
Step to the right hand time to the left then pause Twende reverse Twende reverse Kanyaga lami bounce for me mommy pose Tuna reverse One man anaitwa Dimori Mkenge flani toka Oyole Mtu ma vibes yani mavidonge Akisikia beat must azitoke Ana reverse and a reverse. And a reverse. Let me see you wine and take it up. Take it up, yeah, take it up. The money come out and take the shot. Push it up on the girl, pelican. The money come out when it's a recali. Habani kumoto sisi hatu jali. Kuna haribika ni kama ajali. Usiku mchana sisi hatu lali. Come, nikushu, vilo na rombosa wana ham. Mambo ni, story ni, wapeleke na riang wajuweni. Tingisha, chachisha, tingisha, hey, rombosa. Tingisha, chachisha, tingisha, hey. Blanda, blanda, wewe ni blanda, blanda, blanda.
Now this is what a real DJ should sound like.
Be honest, I know my heart if I be honest. She in control what she feel. If I try to calm me down. You like this, I like in my love. I love in your love. I'm trying to show you off. You off. She really the latest girl. She really my favorite girl. I'm loving the way you twirl. You twirl in the Maybach. She really the latest girl. She really my favorite girl. I'm loving the way you twirl. You twirl. Fresh up and it on me. Keep on doing it slowly. Girl, that's the way would you penny for me? Take a picture in the shot sleeve. I had a feeling one of these days you'll be there reason I stay. When you ain't girl, you make me say you know. Never met a bad man like this, you know. And I make a man see like breeze, you know. Say I'm fine like star boy ways, you know. I had a feeling one of these days you'll be there reason I stay. When you ain't girl, you make me say baby boy, I love the way you treat me. Shower me because I'm spoiled and I'm needy. Tell me you like what you see, come and please me. One of a kind, and my vibe's too intriguing. I like I'm rough around the edges, real rude boy, real star boy, make me your star girl. Love to hear it when you tell me that it's my world. You know that passion and desire make my toes curl. I know you wanna dive deep in my ocean. You wanna see these hips in motion. Baby, show me you know how to control it. You can have it when you want it. She really the latest girl. She really my favorite girl. I'm loving the way you twirl. You twirl in the Maybach. She really the latest girl. She really my favorite girl. I'm loving the way you twirl. You twirl.
Showing up a body, doing up the man. It's a lot of things you gotta understand and stand beside me. I'm not just anybody. She a good girl and she get it from her mommy. But she love me like a thotty. Make her hips twirl, that's the way she hypnotize me. I love the way she ride me. Excuse me, what's your name, girl? What that be like? You got a ring, oh, he ain't play with you, I see why. Me, the shit, I'm still single, oh, don't be right. Plus, the ones I gave my heart to ain't do me right. So since you take and put a play on your friends or something, so I can show her I'm the man or something. Show the type of shit I stand on, her boyfriend don't really stand for nothing. I never switch up on the fan for money. I let my guard down next to singing for the game and singing branded on me. Playing games, I must got mad on me. Seize the day and worry less about the future, got that tatted on me. They tried to play me, but I had it on me. Now I'm with her and she just showing off her body. With the man, it's a lot of things you gotta understand and stand beside me. I'm not just anybody, she a good girl and she get it from her mommy. But she love me like a thotty, make her hips twirl, that's the way she hypnotize me. I love the way she ride me. I leave my booty on me, Banker booty on me, yeah. Aliza booty on me, Fatima booty on me, oh you my booty on me, nah.
in Kechi and another girl down in Badagry. I get it all for Mushin. I got girls from zone to zone. Oh, na na na. I got Kate in Via. I got Rita. I got Faith in Shita. I get a root in a Papa. I get it Tochi Maria. I know you a leg back. Just got rich. Me no want a broke chick. Who's that chick? And I don't need no low life chick.
Kosa si kosa, makosa ni kurudia. Pole sana kama umevumilia, tulikosana, nikaomba ungenirudia, ukanikana hadharani mbele ya dunia. Beti lichomeka, zima moto hawakusaidia, ndege ya vieta kianguka hawakunyambia. Saizi liona na sikufuatilia, jirani alikuteka, mali yangu wakanikulia. Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa.
You're watching KBC Channel 1. I am Shiksha Arora, and this is Easy Friday, and we're about to get a little easy because with me, I've got the cast of Big Girl, Small World on Showmax, which has been doing extremely well. Quite a relatable show. You know, things that happened in our day-to-day lives, and when you see it on television, you're just like, why has no one spoken about this yet? Well, guess what? It has officially been spoken about. 4 episodes are officially out, so you can watch the rest. So with me, without further ado, let's get right into the cast. I've got the lead. Her name is Shika Wamai in the show, and she is June Jenga. Hello. Hi, everyone. I've got Emmanuel Mugo, the one and only Mugo. You've seen him in a couple of...
A couple of what?
We'll talk about that. And he's Kasim with a C in the show. Yep. And then we have the beautiful Aisha in the show, who is Dana Njuguna, and it's so lovely to have all of you.
Thank you so much for having us.
You know, I was watching you when I was just like observing you. I feel like Shiko is June. June is Shiko. Is that true?
No.
Really?
I beg to differ.
Okay.
We do share similarities, especially physically. The things personality-wise we do share, but we are two very distinct people.
Really? I guess the people who are close to you would know better. Right?
Wow, really? Really? On national TV?
You know, guys, it's been 4 episodes officially out. How does it feel? It has been received so well. The show has been talked about on social media. You know, we saw it trending the first episode, and it was so nice to see such a warm response. So how do you guys feel about that?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
I am super excited. The reception has been amazing so far. I mean, you guys know the work that went into all this.
Yeah.
Those long nights, those very, tenuous hours, but all in all, the reception has been dope. So we're just glad to see that. And hopefully with the, incoming episodes, there's more to come.
How many more to go?
How many more, guys? Shall we tell them?
It's 13 episodes, so it's what?
4 so
9?
far, 9 more.
So we haven't yet hit the middle.
So much more.
Better. So much more.
So much better.
Way more spicy.
So much action already. Like, I remember watching episode 1 and I was like, okay, this is a bit slow, but the way it ended, I was like, I didn't expect that.
There's the hook.
Right? There's a hook in every episode, and I love it. I also do understand that it was written by female writers. The team was just comprised of all women. And that, I think, is just phenomenal on its own. You know, it's directed by Nick Mutuma. It is produced by Kevin Jue. And I just love the fact that all these talented people are working on a project, and it's being received well. So it's happiness all around, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Aisha, wow, Dana.
It's okay. Literally, everyone just calls me Aisha, and I'm like, yes.
I'm so used to watching you, and I'm just like, you know, now I'm seeing you, I'm like, Aisha. Oh, sorry, Dana. Dana Njuguna is your name, and we shall stick to that.
Thank you.
Dana, you know, as somebody who's actually lived abroad, right, and somebody who has had the transition of coming back to Kenya and then living and adjusting with the life that we have here, I do understand you were in London for a few years, and which is extremely fast-paced, and then you come to Nairobi, which I think, by the way, it's become fast as well. Like 5 years ago, before COVID, we were just like sukumai, but now super quick as well. Was your transition as tumultuous as you know, Aisha's was?
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, so like the first few months, you're like, oh, this is nice. Everything's nice and calm. I can breathe. And then after that, it kind of gets a bit trying to figure out how to get things done with a different system, with a different pace, and then also kind of like acclimating to just the general culture and vibe. Yeah, it's a tough one. It takes like almost a year, and then you're like, okay, I got this.
And Jeff, there's so many people actually expats. You know, we have people who are living in different countries, well, born in Kenya, and then they move, and then they stay there for a long time in the diaspora, and then they come back, and they're just like, wow, this is different. So it's something that's so relatable as well, and I'm so glad that that was part of your character, because once again, like, I really like there's so many things that people can relate to, like little things. So did you find yourself fitting in Aisha's shoes very easily?
Yeah, I did, quite easily. I mean, there's a lot about her that's very different to me, but I feel like the core of her was very relatable to me. The fact that she was coming back and starting over, I could totally get that, and just trying to kind of orient herself, reconnecting with her best friend, and also trying to figure out her life in general and what that looks like. Yeah, I could definitely relate to that a lot, and that made it very easy to just slide in. Yeah.
And how was your preparation for this particular role?
It was interesting. So reading through the script, I kind of got a bit cocky because I was like, yeah, I got this. This is easy, this is doable.
Walk in the park.
But then it kind of felt like as the process kind of went on, I did find moments where I had to actually sit down and be like, okay, hold on. I have to do the acting prep for this part because there's something I don't quite know. So I had to kind of, you know, just do the whole thing of like asking the questions and trying to kind of build the world for myself so I could get into those moments that were a bit difficult for me to stick to.
Right. And is this your first Kenyan show?
This is my first Kenyan anything. Very excited.
I love that for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you did an incredible job.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Let's get to Kasim with the C.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
So, Mugo, you know, you are somebody who's always been this lover boy, right? In almost all the shows that I've watched, and most of your characters, you've always been somebody who is like a Romeo, like somebody who's just charming and just such a lover,
a heartbreaker,
so big on love. And then in this particular show, I feel like before we really got to see the Romeo lover boy part of you, things happen.
And I love that. It's the chaos for me, guys.
The chaos.
It's the chaos.
I think that's a bit different from what you usually play and what you're usually used to. So how was that for you, like, you know, getting a completely different character, something that is, you know, you haven't really experienced before, a comedian. I know you're a bit funny sometimes. You can.
I have my moments, guys. I can be funny if I try. Comedy is not easy.
He can. I know, right? So how was it for this particular character, Kasim? It's quite difficult because, as you said, comedy is not easy. So I'm sure the preparation must have been very difficult, very intense to try and get you out of your usual character and usual personality into becoming Kasim.
Yeah. Definitely. Jeez, that was a mouthful, Shiksha. Jeez. Amazing work. I love it. It was very different handling Kasim as a character as compared to everything else I've been doing so far.
Right.
What really attracted me to the role was the comedic aspect attached to him. I mean, this is a guy, yes, he has his ups and downs. Yes, he's kind of a lover boy, but there's something else attached to him. And the whole comedic aspect was a challenge which I really just had to go in and do my best. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I remember the first call Nick and I had, it was like, he was really encouraging me and pushing me to do my best and to actually, he believed in me enough to pull off this role. And there was no way I could let him down. There's no way I could let these talented people down. Because I saw what I had to work with. You remember. Man, from the get-go, I could feel this was something special. So I really had to put my best foot forward. Yeah, and yes, the lover boy thing was there, and it got to a point where it kind of gets frustrating, because now I start feeling like I'm being typecast. Mugoni lover boy too. Yeah, I'm just here for the there's more to that. And I feel with Kasim, there's so much more to him. And it's a character you will love, you will hate. You'll want to hug him, you'll want to slap him, all in one.
Right.
And I can wait for guys to see more.
Interesting. You know, Mugo, what happens with, I don't want, no spoilers, sorry,
No spoilers.
but there was something that was leaked, obviously, private videos that were leaked in this particular show.
Yes.
And Kasim became an overnight sensation, while our sweet Shiko loses everything.
Society. That just goes to show you how things are.
I was actually going to ask you that. Did you just read my mind?
I got you.
So I was just going to ask, like, do you think this particular plot twist is an accurate depiction of what happens in society?
Oh, definitely. As in what we do even as our art is holding up a mirror to society and being like, yeah, look at us, this is us. I mean, that's the case. So we got to see how a man would be treated in such a situation and how a woman would be treated in such a situation, how it affects them, the dynamics.
Right.
For Kasim, it totally skyrocketed everything. For Shiko was the complete opposite. And not to spoil too much, but there's so much more.
Yeah.
And I feel there are lessons to be learned from this. Yeah.
Amazing. And now finally getting back to our lady. Yes, June, you know, this particular show, I feel like there's so many different elements. There's so many like little things that have been touched on of what actually happens in the life of a millennial, right? And the fact that you also had your videos leaked in that particular show, I feel like the one thing that, for me, it caught my eye was the way your emotions were captured, right? Because it can be a very stressful situation and a scenario that nobody wants to experience. And what happens after? It's like a trickle effect. So for you as June, how was it preparing for this particular role because of how intense it is emotionally? It can drain you. There was a lot of crying. Shiko cried a lot. Like, you know, I was just watching the show, and every episode Shiko has cried. I was counting. Like, how many times will she cry? And it's true because of how deep the whole thing was and like how deeply it affected you. So tell me, you know, June, how was it preparing for such a role? And then I'll come to that audition that you guys were.
There's nothing much to say.
I need to know the inside joke. So tell me, June.
Okay. Well, luckily, I would say I have a background in theatre.
Amazing.
Yes, and I started acting in my elementary years. So from kindergarten, you can imagine all that training up until I finished high school. I have always been in a space where I've been taught and trained to tell stories. So that helped a lot. Another thing that helped is Nicholas Mtuma. He is an amazing director. He's a patience teacher. He's a gentleman of distinction, and he's a great director. So in fact, before we even started, we had rehearsals, and our rehearsals were very, they were not rehearsals like let's just go through the lines and everything. No, it was questioning why this is your choice to express this emotion, why is this your choice to tell the story this way, like in a very objective way. Nick is a teacher, he's a creative, he's an amazing creative, but he's a teacher, and also we were given so much freedom to be able to tap into our acting range.
That's very important because, you know, sometimes as an actor you feel restricted when you're told deliver like this and stick to this and do not move from point A. You're not going to point B. So that's a very important point that you mentioned.
So we had also a huge team of support. Like for instance, because I'm theatre trained, I'm from the stage. It was quite a task adapting to the camera. We had an amazing DOP by the name of Kevin Davis. And K-Dat, that's what we call him, K-Dat. He taught me how to play to the camera.
Wow.
And he was like, on stage, it's this big. But you're performing for the lens is this big. Because my movements were so large, I was out of frame a lot. So that teaching and that cultivating, our set was such a teaching set.
Yeah, it really was.
It was such a teaching set. Like if we grew. Honestly, I felt my craft grew, my art grew, and we were given the space to learn. to make mistakes, to pick up again, to do it again, the patience on that set, and the mental stability on that set. Barbara Caruana, Kevin Njue, Nick Mtuma, you guys just created such a healthy working environment that we were able to push and do things that we were able to do. And so, yeah.
I love that. And you know, sometimes when you have good leadership, the result is in front of your eyes.
Truly.
Right?
Yeah.
You can see how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, the funny thing is, I was looking at the tweets for this particular show, and somebody said something hilarious, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring it up. So somebody said, were you auditioning for a radio series, or were you auditioning for an actual TV series? Because everybody has such phenomenal voices. And they mentioned Aisha, they mentioned, no one mentioned you.
I guess
you're a comedian, it's okay. They mentioned you, and they mentioned Kui, right? So the three of you, they were like, these ladies should be put on radio. Were you actually auditioning them to act, or to just be on radio for their voices? Why does everyone have such good voices? Have you ever had like voiceover experience or something?
I am not only an actor, I'm also a voiceover artist.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I could hear
There
it.
it is.
There it is. It makes sense now. What about you, Dana?
Well, I've done, I was trained in theatre for 2 years, so we did a lot of like vocal production, voice and speech, so that's kind of where I got my
amazing
control.
And Koi Kabala is she's a
on radio,
yeah.
So she's just, it's her
it
thing.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, this set is full of talent. This space right here, the talent here. You don't know. Anyways, let's talk about how this has been received by the audiences, right? People are really loving it. People are saying great things about it. You know, people have mentioned that it's nice to see new faces. This debate that we always have, that we have the same 5 actors on Kenyan television and movies.
The same.
Well, guess what? Nicholas Mutuma is like, you know what? You're always talking about how I'm always there on every TV show. I'm going to make sure there's nobody part of these 5 new faces, people who have not been given, you know, lead roles per se, and then now you guys are out there with like the big 5. I would like to call you guys. There's you 3, and then we also have your mom. She's incredible on the show.
Zainabu Hari.
That's her name. I think we need to like give her a shout out.
Yes, Zainabu.
Such a talented actress. She stood out for me as well. And the things that she did was so relatable as well.
As a mom,
Do you know, like the whole religion aspect of sometimes when you do something wrong, your parents are just like, but you're not praying enough. You know? Exactly. God needs to watch over you. Just kneel down right now.
Let's pray now.
Let's pray right now together. I'm here to guide you. So I love these little things. Let's talk about the fact that you guys actually filmed this, I believe, sometime last year.
Yes.
And then it's taken such a long time to actually get it out there. So what's the process like? Like for somebody who doesn't know what happens behind the scenes from the time that a movie or a TV show is conceptualized to a time when you start filming it, and then to the post-production. You know, people think that this is easy, and it's just, it happens the turnover is quick. It's super quick and super fast. So maybe someone like Mugo, you've been in this industry for a very long time. You can tell us and take us through the different steps and the different processes.
Oh, for sure. First of all, you said from the moment of conceptualization.
Yes.
Now, the moment the story comes alive, now it's up to the production to get together. Us as let's call ourselves Shiksha Production. Us as Shiksha Production, we have to now understand how we're going to tell the story in the best way possible. That means we have to gather resources, we have to consider locations, we have to consider who we're going to work with, where, and what time stipulations we are going to put for this project. So you can imagine, even before wonderful people like this come on board, there's so much that has gone down from the writing process to the moment we actually go to the ground and do what we need to do. And as far as now, we get the artist and the work kicks off, now it's the process of actually producing.
Right.
And now that's where the magic happens. That's where now we really have to grind and, put our best foot forward. Because again, it's all a matter of repetition and, making sure the best product comes through. That's why we had such an arduous process with the rehearsals and everything. And detail to attention is everything. Detail to attention makes the difference in everything, and that's what I really took away from this experience, because we really took our time to make it work.
Truly.
One of the notes one of the good things that people are saying is the cinematography is really.
I was just going to mention that at some point.
Like
And-
K-Dot.
K-Dot
Bro,
and his perfectionism.
And the
Bobo
colours.
guy.
Dodd.
We had an amazing team on deck.
I love the
Yo,
colours as well.
It was very.
Do you
it
know
was
like
tastefully
how nice and tasteful it is to watch
that is
Kenyan television just looking so sweet.
amazing.
I was very happy. Honestly, I was like, my heart is full because it's so nice to see that. And you know, it looks like it's international, which is fantastic.
Shout out to our editors also, the editing team.
How long did you guys actually take to film the whole thing?
Okay, so
how many months?
For who? For
which before we got on board, there are guys who had already been working.
Yeah.
So you can imagine. Yo.
You guys were set for how many days? How many months?
Could have been.
Okay, so well, you were the main character. So how many months or days were you on set?
Yeah, man, I feel like I'm still on set.
Let's do that.
It was, gosh, God.
We started what, in July?
We did? Yeah. I think
And
that's,
you started like that first July 1st. You were there.
Yeah, like
the first one on set.
Yeah.
And then when did you end? When did you finish?
Officially, we finished in November.
What?
Yeah.
Yes. November, October.
October?
November. Listen, we finished. The show is...
We finished.
July, August, September, October, November. That's 5 months
and that's
of
just the
filming.
production
And
phase. That's just the filming phase.
Yeah. So it was, and we had breaks in between also.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't
Like
just
back to back.
back to back.
Yeah.
But this process, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm just gonna say it. I'll get in trouble. Kevin Joy is not here. Kevin, you'd have been here. This for Giraffe started. Let's count. Let's give them last year, like 2 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
2
this is
That's
So
why
this
I say
is
it's more
year
than a
3.
They're like this whole thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, like respect. I have immense respect for creators, you know, directors, everybody who's in this industry when it comes to film and television, because the amount of work that goes into it, to see a final product looking so good, you guys, you need to feel proud. You honestly need to. Are we going to win some awards next year? Kala?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. You know, as we wrap up, June, you said you are in theater. Like, how different is theater from, you know, shooting for a series? Because as you mentioned, that one thing was, you know, your actions and your movement and everything was just so larger than life. It was big. Because you only have one shot. It's like live television. You have one shot. You make it or you break it. You make it happen at that moment, you give it your all. But then, of course, when you are working as an actress on television or for a movie, there's always cut, you know, and you can do better. So for you, how difficult was it to make that transition?
It was challenging, I would say. But I had Nicholas, I had K-Dot, I had Kevin Joy, who helped me with that particular journey, with that transition. The basics of it is take theater and then make it small. Okay. So instead of bigger movements, we need your emotions to radiate. I had to change how my body tells a story on camera the way versus how it would tell a story on stage. And that's something I had to learn, telling the story with your body, telling the story with your voice. My voice was so huge and carrying. Sound guy was like, listen, June. Theirs was like, June, please. So learning all those things, but I had all these people in place. So it was like, take theater and make it subtle.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Which directors have hit you up? Any new offers that you'd like to tell us about? What's
Radio
next?
jobs.
What's next? Tell us more.
Jobs, my friends.
I'm sure everyone's giving you your flowers.
Yes, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. But that question, no comment.
Okay, no comment. What about you, Mugo? What's next for the? She's refused to give me an exclusive.
Can we just?
Now we know. Mugo, tell us.
Yes.
What about you? What's next for you? By the way, you did an incredible job with Mpakani as well.
Thank you! Mpakani! Check it out on Netflix. Shameless plug, but anyway.
But what's next for you?
More stunts, more action.
Ooh.
More stuff coming up.
Yeah?
More stuff coming up. I really want to get into more of the stunt side of things. As you know, I've been doing stunts for a while now.
Yes.
I want to take it a notch higher. I want to do more workshops. So in collaboration with Rafiki Hub, we will soon be having that very soon. So stay in contact, guys.
Amazing.
And yeah, basically, let's just grow this industry and grow what we are doing, grow our stories, and tell it in the most authentic manner possible.
Mic drop.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
And what about you, Dana? What next for you? You know, you mentioned this is your first ever Kenyan appearance.
Yeah.
And it's like, now you're appearing on television, on radio, you have interviews, and it's
wild.
just amazing. It's wild, right?
Yeah.
So is this something that you see yourself doing in future?
You know what? I don't even know right now. I feel like I'm still letting it all wash over me right now.
Yeah.
But I am keeping myself busy doing some training with actors, one-on-one, for auditions or whatever it is that they need.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I've been doing to keep myself busy. But in terms of acting, I'm still kind of just like...
soaking it all in.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay,
Day at a
Big
time.
Girl Small World has landed. Cool.
I love that. And yeah, with that, it's time for us to say goodbye to you. Thank you for watching. This has been incredible. Once again, Big Girl Small World is now out on Showmax. You can watch it, you can check it out and see this incredible cast do what they do best. You know, it's so nice to see Kenyan television growing. It's so nice to see that the industry is now bigger and better than ever. And it's right in front of you. The finished product is in front of your eyes. So go check it out. Don't miss that chance. In fact, follow them. I can give you their social media handles and you can check them out. June Njenga.
Yes, June Jenga. At June Jenga, that's on Instagram. Also TikTok and Facebook.
All right. And Emmanuel Mugo.
Nimugo, NI_Mugo, Instagram, not on TikTok, not on Twitter, but on any Instagram.
And what about you, Dana?
At Dana, D-A-I-N, and 20 A's.
Oh.
Yeah.
20.
I was really searching for an available thing, and so I was like, let me just keep pressing the A button.
So were you not on social media before this?
No, I've been hiding.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, no IG Dana at that time?
Yep, nope.
Last year?
Yep.
I need to have a talk with you.
That's why I have 20
I really
A's.
respect people who can stay without social media. Let's talk later. All right, Shiksha Arora is my name. Thank you for watching. We'll do this again next week, same time, same place. Until then, don't go anywhere because Cole Jacks is up next with Disco Funk. Friday night has officially started. So get the Friday night fever on. And 70s, 80s, 90s music, this is it. Stay tuned.
Nipite boss kwani mimi nugu sikose nguvu baby girl mi ukula njugu bad to the bone lazima nikunywe supu shake that thing hadi upige marufuku kaende kifo cha meme unaniona kama maembe na tembe kimbugu vitu zetu usiseme wacha wabaki wakidhani kuna vene peleka juu peleka chini usiogope kuu rarua mini ikishika sana toa ulimi zako zikipanda cheza na nani tuko area
Multi-bonus. Zidisha ushindi wako hadi 1,000,000 na multi-bonus 1,000%. Kuwa mshindi. Mozartbet.
Find out what Kaikara is up to.
Just be careful how you deal with that man.
The fact that I read the Bible does not make me stupid.
By now you should know that Ronald double-crossed us.
How? Ruth! What's up with you and Nick? Come on, Alice. We've always been close.
We need to find Donald, and fast.
Find out about Ruth.
My instincts tell me he's not straightforward. Nini uniambi?
Yeah, she knows too much.
Dad and I were not in good terms before he passed on. It hurts like hell.
Sorry, Alice, I didn't return your call. I was held up.
I know you're a busy man. I understand.
Was just passing by. I wanted to talk to your boss. My boss? You have way too many bosses.
Coal Jacks.
There's a pale moon in the sky. Can you make your wishes on? Oh, like the light in your eyes, the one I build my dreams upon. It's not there any longer. Something happened somewhere and we both know why. But me, I'm getting stronger. We must stop pretending I can't live this life. I don't care who's wrong or right. I don't really wanna fight no more. Too much talking, babe. Let's sleep on it tonight. I don't really wanna fight no more. This is time for letting go. I hear a whisper in the air, simply doesn't bother me. Oh, can't you see that I don't care? Are you looking right through me? It seems to me that lately you look at me the wrong way and I start to cry. Could it be the Navy? This crazy situation is the reason why. Oh, I don't care who's wrong or right. I don't really wanna fight no more. Too much talking, babe. Let's sleep on it tonight. I don't really wanna fight no more. Don't stop like the hands of time. Good luck, find your own way to stay. The time will come.